Good morning, everyone. My name is Josh Blaylock, and this is the Skype for Business recap. It is Friday once again, and I am glad for the end of a week. It has been a busy one. This is my third take of this video this morning, and thank goodness I don't do this live yet, because apparently I do not have the ability to keep myself within 15 minutes this morning. The first video was 21 minutes, second was 19. Apparently it was a busier week and I've got more to talk about, or I'm just extremely wordy. Speaking of which, I should probably stop talking about that and actually get on to the content of the video. A couple quick notes. First, trying to finish up this bit of coffee here. Maybe this will help me get through it. Giant mug, I love this thing. The jacket. Why am I wearing a jacket today? Well, my office at home is downstairs in a finished out basement. And it is winter, it is the middle of winter, and it is cold down here. Came down in a t-shirt this morning and I was freezing. So I'm wearing a jacket, that's why. All right, that's that. Good stuff. Second, I wanted to talk about a new community, not new, but new to me for the most part, that I have begun getting involved with this week and see myself getting much more involved with as time goes on. And I just kind of neglected it or put off going into it. Yammer. Many of you are probably already deeply immersed in Yammer and love it and think it's great or have your own opinions, but you've used it, and others maybe not. But I'm one of those that had just put it off. I'd stayed very involved with the community as far as Twitter and LinkedIn go, and doing some things on TechNet here and there, but on my own blog once in a while, which is sadly lacking lately and needs some help. But I had put off Yammer. I signed up a while back using my own personal tenant, but I hadn't gotten in there and really gotten involved with conversations at all. I've been missing out. It is very cool, and if you are not using Yammer yet, you should go check it out. Signed up with my own personal tenant, part of the Office 365 network, which you got to get accepted into and all that, and it's a great network. I am part of the Skype for Business IT Pro group and the Office 365 IT Pro group. And one of the things I really need to explore is private groups. That's kind of what made me come back and look anyway, was the suggestion that private groups be looked into in place of persistent chat for a company that has a large Mac user population. So I'm going to go check that out and see, how private groups might fill that void. But putting those aside, there's lots of really good, relevant conversations happening with the latest information, the latest announcements, the latest news, and a lot of the normal players that you would see on Twitter and LinkedIn are there, helping people, sharing, and making it a better place. So I'm going to be in Yammer a lot more. Hope to see you guys in there. Very cool part of the overall Office picture these days. All right, so moving past Yammer, let's go to my actual production notes that I keep in OneNote here. First, the little bit of news that I saw a lot of you saw, I helped kind of splash this around once I saw it on Twitter and LinkedIn, and I saw it brought up in Yammer and commented on it there. Microsoft acquired the underlying, pay attention to the words here, the underlying technology from Event Zero's UC Commander product suite. Microsoft did not purchase Event Zero. There was some confusion in a few different places, people that may have read the announcement fast or something. Microsoft did not purchase Event Zero, or even the whole UC Commander product, from what I understand. They really just purchased the underlying technology of this product, which encompasses things like analytics, advanced reporting, troubleshooting tools, things that they intend to put in the Skype for Business online portal, the administrative center, to really make that a better portal and better tool for us all. It's a clean, easy to use portal that manages the things you need to manage for the most part for your Skype for Business online users. But when it comes to really good, rich analytics or deep reporting or more in-depth troubleshooting, there isn't a lot there. And this acquisition of this technology it was a very good step in that direction. So congratulations to both parties. Cool new announcement, and I look forward to seeing what this looks like as the online portal evolves in the future using this technology. Second, there is a new Skype for Business user group that has been formed in the West Toronto area. We are talking Toronto, as in the very large city in Canada. This group was co-founded by Kevin Kieler, and Kevin, if I mispronounce your last name, I'm sorry, man. I do that. That's my thing. His Twitter handle is at KKIELLER. And then Dino Caputo, who is an Office Servers and Services MVP. And Dino's Twitter handle is at Dino Caputo. Caputo is CAPUTO. The first meetup is going to be on February 2nd at 7 p.m. And I will include the link to the meetup below in the description of the video here on YouTube. Now, if you have the screen in full screen mode, then me saying below doesn't show you a video description and just looks weird. Sorry, I just realized that as I was doing it on video. But look in the description of the video for the meetup.com link for this new user group. If you have never attended a Link or Skype for Business user group, it is an excellent resource for networking with other professionals in the industry and in companies in your area that are using Link and Skype for Business and the same product suite. They're going to have vendors in there talking about some of the latest and most relevant content or related products. There's going to be, a little bit of a time to mix and get to know people and chat and network. And at the user group that I went to in Charlotte, there was even a raffle at the end of it, which was super cool because they had a Plantronics rep that day, and I happened to win one of the raffle drawings and got that new Plantronics Voyager Focus UC headset, which I love. But I don't know if all meetups do raffle drawings or not, but they should if they don't, and it was awesome. Raffle or not, great resource, excellent way to network and get to know who's who in the local scene. So if you are anywhere near the Toronto area and are interested in this group, please check out that link in the description and attend their first meeting on February 2nd at 7 p.m. Moving on, it's shameless self-promotion plug time here. For those of you that don't know, I put out a Skype for Business Hybrid Handbook. It is a free ebook, and I did this a couple months ago. It's supposed to encompass all things having to do with planning, deploying, and managing a Skype for Business hybrid environment. Essentially, you have an on-prem environment and you've got Skype for Business online, and you're connecting the two, and have some users living on-prem, some living in the cloud, etc. This handbook is supposed to be there to help you through feature comparison, planning out your move, planning which users are going to be moved and which aren't, actually setting it up, etc. And the first iteration of it was very well received. As of yesterday, I had about 500 downloads, 4 5-star positive reviews, lots of good feedback, but also some corrective feedback. There was some of you out there that said, hey, just so you know, this part of the book is not correct, or the information is a little different. And especially in user management, I just had some things flat out wrong about what you could and could not do from the Skype for Business control panel GUI. And so I needed to change that. So yesterday I launched version 1.2 of the book. I replaced the download on the TechNet Gallery with the new version, the new PDF. And it is now 84 pages as opposed to the 71 pages that it was before. In particular, the biggest change was going to be that user management chapter about moving users back to on-prem from online. I now have a whole section in there detailing how you can do that from the Skype for Business control panel with screenshots and detailed step-by-step instructions. That's all there. I also put up a bunch of screenshots to help out with what it looks like setting up hybrid initially from the wizard within the control panel in an earlier chapter, and then made a couple references to the fact that E5 and Cloud PBX is now GA, not just in preview anymore, all that good stuff. So the book is in its second version. This isn't any new major publication. This isn't the second edition or anything like that. This is still the first book, just with some corrections. So version 1.2 back out there. I shared it yesterday. You all were super amazing, retweeted and shared that thing a ton. And already this morning I am up over 100 downloads, more than yesterday, up over 600. So it's getting a good reception. I hope it helps out a lot of you and that it's a really good resource. And I hope that as Office 365 continues to undergo constant change, I can keep up with those changes in the books, or in this book, and it'll be a living and continually helpful tool for everyone. So yeah, thanks again for your support on that. I wanted to give a shout out to another Office Servers and Services MVP, Fabrizio Volpe. He is a very active and valuable member to the Skype for Business and Link community. And he took the time to do a blog review last night on this book once I launched. And that meant a lot, Fabrizio. Thank you so much for taking the time to not only read it, but to also go out there and share your thoughts and your opinions and make a recommendation that it's worth the download and worth checking out. Your comments, your feedback, your review was extremely appreciated and very kind of you. So thank you for taking the time to do that. Lastly, before I do another ridiculously long segment here, let me touch on the last two items. They're both related to Skype, not Skype for Business. I normally do not talk about the commercial version of Skype because it really does not relate too much to what we are doing in the Skype for Business and Office 365 community. But these were some pretty cool new developments, and they were all over the place on Twitter, so I want to mention them. The first is there is Skype and Slack integration now. So Slack, if you're not familiar with it, which I'm not too familiar with it myself, but very cool tool for bringing teams together and teamwork regarding IM, and I'm not sure what all the features are. What I do know is that one of the features that it did not have was audio-video conversations for these teams and these people using Slack. That is now possible using Skype. So from within Slack, you can launch a Skype audio-video chat. That is pretty slick and pretty cool. Very new thing that was released, and I'm glad to see that out there. Very, very good strategic partnership. The second thing was Skype Translator, which has been in preview for about a year, or whatever the timeline is, but on PCWorld.com, there was a great article shared called Skype's Magical Real-Time Language Translator Tool Goes Live for All Windows Users. And the subtitle is, "We're one step closer to Star Trek becoming reality." Really quickly here, Skype Translator currently offers voice-to-voice translation for 7 languages. Those would include English, French, German, Italian, Mandarin, Portuguese, and Spanish. It sounds like all the usual, culprits that you would expect to see in that lineup for voice-to-voice translation. Then there are an additional 50 languages available for translation via instant message. That's quite the large availability of translation languages there. I have not used this myself or toyed with it because, again, I don't use the commercial version of Skype hardly at all. But this is something I'm going to have to play with now. I think I need to go and get the most recent Windows desktop version. Find a friend that speaks a different language that's in this list of 7 and play around a little bit just to see what the voice-to-voice translation sounds like. I think that'll be a pretty cool thing. So Skype reports that since launching in preview a year ago, calls using the translator feature have increased 400%. Not bad. The most popular voice-to-voice translation pairing so far appears to be French to English. So some interesting stats about where it's being used most and how it's evolving. Obviously a powerful tool, one of those things that takes bridging the gap between geographically dispersed people to the next level. So very, very cool. That's it. I'm not going to yammer on too much more here because, I'm going to be going over the time limit again. So without going on too much more, thank you guys. Again, thank you for the tons of support you have given involving the book, the version 1.2 of the Skype for Business Hybrid Handbook. Please continue to send feedback on the book, my blog, the videos, anything that I'm doing out there to contribute to the community. I really would appreciate your feedback and thoughts. I'm honored to be a part of this community, to work with you all, to share thoughts, to throw jabs at each other on Twitter. This is a fun group of people to be involved with, and I like hearing from you guys. So thanks for all the support. Guys, have a great weekend and a productive next week, and we will see you back here next Friday. Until then, adios.